many people are asking how they can go about accessing the training material that we are going to be presenting. And I'd like to share with you just a couple of those logistical points. The first thing to mention is that we have already uploaded part 1 of the training information on a platform called Udemy. People have been asking why we used Udemy, and the main reason for that is because when students are talking to us and when we're getting feedback from different people who have gone through various kinds of training content, the feedback has been fairly consistent that people like a platform where they can go through the content at their own pace, where they can actually track their progress and see how much they've already gone through and what is still left over. And of course, people enjoy the extra resources like being able to complete quizzes that help them evaluate whether they are understanding the content. And they also like to have kind of additional resources like printable workbooks and those sort of things. All of these things are available on the Udemy platform. So we have uploaded part 1 there so that people can go through the talks little by little. They can continue to track their own progress. There are quizzes built into that platform that people can complete. There's also a PDF printable workbook that we have done, which is a more in-depth Bible study for the part 1 content. And when people have worked through all of those resources, when they've worked through all the talks and completed the quizzes and the assignments in the Udemy platform, they can also receive a certificate of completion at the end. The same information can be uploaded to platforms like YouTube, but of course many of those additional benefits will fall away, and it's impossible for us to evaluate whether people have actually gone through all of that, so we cannot extend any kind of certificate that we recognize they have completed going through that content. Now, with all of that in mind, we are about to begin part 2 of this reThink mission training content. And in part 2, we're going to go through some more of the practical applications. We're going to look at how the Bible study from part 1 pertains to practical medical missionary work. We're going to look at various additional elements that are necessary for medical missionaries to understand when they're going to be working in modern day contexts. And with this in mind, there are a couple of resources available. We're going to be doing many of the talks over Zoom. We are going to be uploading some content onto YouTube. But again, some of those additional benefits of the self-study are not all available on those platforms. So we will be placing these recordings on the Udemy platform as well once we have gone through part 2's content. And there we will add the additional resources like quizzes and assignments and the workbook and those sort of things. I would like to encourage people to, if you have not yet done so, to go onto the Udemy platform and just register and complete part 1 of the training. The Bible study is the foundation of everything that we're going to be doing. And as we go through the content of part 2 and part 3, I'm going to be referring back to part 1 over and over again, because everything has to be understood in the context of what the biblical foundation is for our work as medical missionaries. And this is what we talk about in part 1. So if you haven't had a chance to do that yet, be sure to go onto the Udemy platform. I will share in the description box for this video, again, the link for the Udemy course. I'll also share a promotion code that you can add in if you would like to use that. And I want to just encourage as well that part 1 is not a very long process to go through. It can take less than 2 hours to go through the content, because the Udemy platform also allows for you to listen to videos at a faster pace. So you can set the playback speed, and it helps you to listen through it a little bit faster if you are familiar with some of the content. If it's all new to you, you may want to spend a bit of additional time on that. But part 1 is really core to place everything else into context. So I'd like to encourage you to go through that if you haven't yet done so. Another logistical point is that we would like to be in touch with those students who are going through this content. And since we are going to be uploading certain things onto YouTube and people will access it that aren't directly in contact with us, in order to stay in touch and have a mailing list where we can share updates with people and where we can also share with them the dates and the times for Zoom sessions, we want to encourage you to register on the Google Forms that we have set up. So the Google Forms is for the entire reThink Mission course. You can access it through the link that is in the description box for this video. And if you register there, we will have a better idea of where you're registering from, what your home language is. It gives us a bit of context about what your background information understanding is, and it just helps us to tailor the course content. So if you haven't done that yet, please be sure to register on the reThink reThink mission registration form. We will then be sending out some regular updates on email, and if you prefer communication on telephone, you're also welcome to reach out to us. Our details are all on the Health Rethink website. If you have any further questions about how you can utilize this course information, or if you want to know more about what it is that we're going to be discussing, or where you can access certain resources, make sure to contact us. I will add our contact details in the description box for this video as well. And if there's anything else that you feel that we should add to the course that we haven't yet incorporated and that's not planned yet, be sure to share your suggestions with us. We look forward to studying with you, and I'd like to emphasize again, this is not about you learning everything that I think is important. It's about us studying together and being driven back to the Bible, to the spirit of prophecy, and pleading with God to teach us, because He is the great physician, He's the great teacher, and we can never get saturated with all the wonderful knowledge and the light that He wants to shed on our path.